So I just recorded this entire video, like 60% of it, and I did not know I was not recording. So I absolutely hate everything. Anyways, homophones. Every language has them, right? Homophones, if you don't know, are just words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently, and they also mean different things, right? For example, the word sell and the word sell. I sell you a book, or like a brain cell, or a stem cell, or like a heart cell, or skin cell. Or maybe the word like red, right? The color red, and I read a book. But in most languages, there are words that you would just... People who created the language have enough insight to be like, maybe we shouldn't have those two words be homophones. For example, you wouldn't have the word red and the word blue sound exactly the same, right? You wouldn't have the word car and the word truck sound exactly the same. Well, you don't know Cantonese now, do you? And Cantonese has so many of these words, and just like, why would you do that? Why you're doing this on purpose? I genuinely believe you are doing this on purpose just to screw with people. And I listed 6 of them just to prove how stupid whoever created Cantonese. And also, these words are also in Mandarin too. So whoever created Chinese is just a scumbag. So here's 6 words that are just like, why would you decide to have those be homophones of all words? Number 6. This is the least offensive of the 6. So this is like child's play compared to how stupid the bottom 5 are. The word for freight and the word for fire. What's wrong with those? Like that they don't have any special connection. Who cares if they sound the same? The word for freight is full. The word for fire is full. The way you say truck in Chinese is 火车, which is freight car, right? Directly translated freight car. And the word for train is directly translated to fire car, which is 火车. You'd think it's fire truck, but no, that's also how we confuse you. The word for fire truck is actually 消防车. So, I don't know, don't ask me. They sound like, why would you... They're both, like, there are many occasions when both of those are together. Let's say, like, a truck hit a train, right? 個火車撞咗個火車. Did I say that right? 個火車撞咗個火車. Why? Wait, so did a truck hit a truck? Or did a train hit a train? Did a truck hit a train? Or did a train hit a truck? Why? You could have had anything else. Train, you could have called it like, I don't know, railroad car. Right? You could have called it like a 鐵路車. Or you could have called it like, you could have called it iron car, right? 鐵車. You had to call it fire car. This is like the least offensive, right? This is... okay, the next one. The word for healthy and the word for rancid, or like gone bad. Yeah, you heard that right. The word for healthy and the word for rancid or gone bad. You know when you like find a bag of trail mix after like 3 years of not going hiking, you're like, oh, what is this? And you open it and it has that smell. Like it just smells like bitter, it smells putrid, it smells like just disgusting, right? That's what I mean by rancid. So the word for rancid in Chinese is yik, and that's what that smell is. Versus the word for healthy is yik. Yo, yik. Yik. Yeah, yik is the word for healthy. Yik. 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 Let's say I wanted to ask you, are these almonds healthy? Hidihanyan yamo yikka. Versus if I wanted to ask, did these almonds go bad? Hidihanyan yamo yikka. Let's say I wanted to tell you, these almonds are not healthy because they went bad. Hidihanyan mo yikke yawe佢有啲益. What if I wanted to say these almonds are healthy because they're not rancid? 희디하는有益嘅，因為佢冇益. Why? Healthy and gone bad. Let's see how many people we can just screw over completely. That is apparently the goal of whoever created the Chinese language. Next word. This word is Cantonese specific. In Mandarin, the main way to say hate is hen, right? 我很恨他. I really hate that person. In Cantonese, you can say that, 我好恨佢. But that word can also mean to really, really want. And this is like the Chinese equivalent to the word literally, right? Where it's literally written the exact same way, but they just mean two different things. One means really hate, and one means really, really want. Written exactly the same. Let's say someone asked you, do you like peanuts? Peanuts が好き. You can respond in 2 different ways. 我好恨食花生 or 我好恨食花生 written exactly the same, pronounced exactly the same. One means hate and one means love. But this isn't too bad just because in Cantonese we don't usually use that word to mean hate or like, right? So if you want to say hate or do not like, we'd usually say "oh唔中意," which is I do not like. You could say "oh好憎," which also means hate. Or if you want to say I like, right? Or I want, that'd be "oh中意," which is I like. "oh喜歡," which is also I like. You could say "oh想," say I want to eat. So it's weird because the word that Mandarin people only use for hate, we'll actually use it for like more often. The way Cantonese people would use it is we'd say like, "oh, you really want that, huh?" Right? It kind of like mocking them. The reason why it's lower on the list is just because we don't use it that often in either manner. But it's just, why do we have that in the first place? Next one. The word for slow and the word for violent. The word for slow is mon. The word for violent is man. Now the reason why this is so stupid is because these two words are used very often for determining how high you want your fire to be when you're like cooking something. So let's say someone asks you, "oh, I'm coming home, can you help me boil the water on low heat?" "我而家返緊嚟啦，你幫我開定慢火啦." Versus, "你可唔可以幫我開慢火啊?" You don't understand how many times I messed up because of these two words. It's like license to just yell at someone and just to make someone screw up. You said slow. No, I said high. 你話慢火咯，唔係咩？我話慢火啊，你聽咩啊？咪係咯，你講慢火啊。Why? Ooh, the next one. I hate this one. It's actually kind of fun because like, I'll tell you. Okay, the word for 8 is bot. The word for 100 is bot. Yep. This one's actually not that bad, but it's just funny. I just really like using this whenever like someone's like, "oh, give me like 7 or 8 of those." So that when you say like X or Y, right? Like when you say like, "give me 2 or 3 of those," "give me like 9 or 10 of those," right? You just say the two words next to each other. So for example, if you want to say, "give me 1 or 2 of those," you'd say, "俾我1-2個啦." Give me 1 or 2. You just say 1, 2. Now, if you wanted to say, "give me 7 or 8 of them," right? You'd say, "俾我700個啦." But that sounds exactly like saying, "give me 700 of them." So every time someone says, "give me 7 or 8 of them," it's just like, you want 700? Damn! Like obviously, like you know they don't want 700 of them, right? But it's just kind of funny. Every time someone says, "give me 7 or 8 of those," which actually occurs more often than not, you'll be surprised. I'm just like, you want 700 of them? Or like maybe you say like, how many of them? How many people were there? Oh, 7 or 8 people. 幾多人去啊？700個啦。700個？有冇搞錯？ I just think it's funny. But it's also like, why would you have two numbers sound exactly the same? Give me 7 or 8 of those. Versus, give me 7 or 8 of those. And imagine if one of them meant 7 or 8 and one of them meant 7,000. Or 700, sorry. That's exactly what it'd be in Chinese. 俾我700個啦。俾我700個啦。And then the number 1 stupidest. The number 1 stupidest word pairing to be homophones. This grinds my gears how stupid this is. The word for sell and the word for buy sound exactly the same. Yeah, it's that stupid. The word for sell is my. The word for buy is my. Why? Why? Do you understand? Okay, so I'm a part-time real estate agent, right? And there are times when you're like, I need the buyer and the seller to sign something, or I need to talk to the buyer, I need to talk to the seller. Buyer in Cantonese is mai ga. Seller in Cantonese is mai ga. Do you know how confusing that is? Do you understand how confusing that is? When I'm talking to the other real estate agent and they're like, "hey, so the seller did this." Oh wait, are you talking about the seller or the buyer? The seller. Buyer? No, seller. Seller. Buyer? Buyer. Seller. Seller. Buyer. Seller. Seller. Buyer. 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 Seller. Seller. Buyer. Or like I'm explaining something to like a third party and then I have to talk about the seller and the buyer. You're doing this on purpose. you're doing this on purpose. Or it's like, it's also kind of funny when you're like, hey, we only have 5 eggs. Can you help me go buy some eggs? And they end up selling your 5 eggs because they thought you heard sell. I just think that's hilarious. Yeah, but like, especially if you're like in the middle of a transaction. Dude, imagine if you're like, these do not reflect my actual positions. Let's say you're a stock picker, right? And you're like telling all your little followers, and you're like, so new news came in. I need you to buy and sell these stocks. And I said, in Cantonese, Liu, my Google, my Apple, my Meta, my Sofi, my Bank of America, my Nvidia, my AMD, my Netflix, my... I don't even know what I said. Like... And then like, there are people, your followers are like... What did he say? My what? It's just like, you're purposely trying to confuse people. And I love it, actually. It's actually hilarious. I don't understand why we decided to have those words be as confusing as they are.
I will say the cute thing about the word sell and buy is the Chinese word for sell and the Chinese word for buy look exactly the same. It's just that the word for sell has this little thing on top. So it's super cute. So it looks like the seller has this little object and the buyer doesn't have this little thing. It's like the seller is holding this little thing and it's waiting for a buyer to buy his little object.
And I just thought that was kind of cute. But yeah, so those are just the words that are just like the stupidest words you could have become homophones. Just because like there's so many situations where you'll use both words or you'll encounter both words. And it's like, it's literally just that thing I described, where it's like, if you imagine if you had the word color red and the color blue sound exactly the same. Buy and sell sound exactly the same. It's just so troll and so stupid. And it's like we're purposely trying to confuse people. And I think we are. I mean, how else are we going to talk shit about people? Have a good one. Peace.